Hey everybody, Dr. Chad here. I had an interaction with a patient last week that stuck with me. There was a comment that this person made about what life would be like right now if we were to concentrate more on what's right and less on what's wrong. I thought about that in a lot of different ways. It stuck with me and marinated on it a lot. I was thinking about it at first, big picture, kind of that existential kind of way, looking at the way the world is right now, how the world thrives, or at least our society does. I think the Western world definitely thrives on negativity. It sells, positivity does not. Negativity does. It gets overwhelming. And obviously, law of attraction pretty much states that what you think about, you bring about. So if we're constantly thinking about bad things, we're going to get bad things constantly. It's just the way things work. That's scientifically proven, quite frankly. Attitude's very important. So when we think about all the bad stuff, almost all the time, then it doesn't leave as much room for good stuff to happen. So it was an interesting thing to consider, what's right versus what's wrong. Focusing on what's right versus focusing on what's wrong. Think about that as it pertains to health. Isn't our society pretty much completely focused on what's wrong with the body? On what's wrong with health? We saw that acutely over the past 13 months and counting. The entire focus of the COVID-19 pandemic response in the United States and beyond in the Western world, and especially where there's a certain allopathic dominant headspace about health and healthcare, we saw it very clearly. Where was the talk about hope? Where was the talk about trying to unlock the body's healing potential? Recognizing that it's capable of just about anything and trying to optimize that. No, that's not how we think. We don't trust that the body can figure things out. We don't trust that with our slight assistance, the role that we play, however small it might be in the big picture, that by giving the body what it needs to heal, that it will heal. That's not the way we're trained to think. We're trained to think that instead of trusting that the body can figure it out, we are trained to fear that it won't and place all of our eggs in the fear-based basket. What do you think masks and vaccines and social distancing and what do you think all that's for? It's based on a fundamental belief that the human body is incapable of adapting to a virus. Now, this virus is obviously, it's packed a punch. There's a lot of interesting stuff that goes on behind the scenes with this stuff. No different with COVID than the pharmaceutical industry and so on and so forth. I mean, the realities of modern American healthcare are staggering and unfortunate and probably beyond the comprehension of a lot of people out there who are really dialed into that system, its leaders, and its teachings. But it's just one philosophy. And its philosophy is so rooted in fear that it's almost hard to see anything else if you are swimming in that ocean, because it's an ocean. Oh my goodness. It's an ocean of fear-based type thoughts that go along with that system and all of its philosophical trappings. It's kind of a dangerous headspace, if you ask me. I think that headspace is in part why America ranks so poorly in health statistics amongst its peers. But imagine what it would be like if we did as this patient that I was talking to last week suggested, and we focused on what was right. If in this case, when it comes to health, we focused on trusting the body instead of fearing what it's incapable of, focusing on what it is capable of. Now, we were always going to be hit hardest than any other country in the world by COVID-19 because we're the sickest country in the industrialized world. Cancer, heart disease, diabetes, lung issues, COPD, emphysema, these types of things, they run rampant in our society more than they do in any other place in the world because we don't know health from a hole in the wall. Our entire system is built around treating disease, on focusing on what's wrong with the body once there are problems, instead of trying to play the preventative maintenance game, which is obviously, as is proven in so many other walks of our lives, that's the strategy that wins. Waiting till things get bad and then trying to fix them thereafter is a strategy that we would not employ when it comes to our homes or our cars or anything else valuable to us. So what would it be like if we focused on what's right? What would it be like if we focused on trust? It's a fascinating question. And that's a question I'm just simply going to leave you with. We know very, very well what a fear-based system looks like. We know it. We've all grown up in it. We've seen it proliferate, some of us, to unimaginable levels. The last year kind of, proof positive of that, of why things need to change, of why we have to shift our focus. So what would it look like if we just thought differently? What would it look like if we designed a health system around hope, trust, what's right? This is a lot right in the body. So why don't we consider, just for the heck of it, take 5 minutes, think, write, journal. Respond to this in a video if you want. Think about what our lives would look like, what our health potential could be if we focused on what's right in here. Think about it.